Hello and welcome to another edition of Little Golem TV. Today we're going to take a look at another match of Dots and Boxes. The match today is from the ongoing championship, Championship 28, and the match is between Geoff Cameron and a player by the name of JJ10. They are really both top-notch players, that's why they're playing in the first league of the championship. There's a bit of story behind this match, so I guess the two players who were favored to win the championship, at least in my book, were Geoff Cameron and S'mores, who have both been doing excellent. And Geoff actually managed to win the heads-up game between him and S'mores, so that means if he was able to win his other games too, he'd be crowned the champion. So among these games, he had to win this game against JJ10. So let's see what happened in the match. JJ opens with this move. It's a bit of an unusual move. I guess much more common is to play one to the right, or maybe one to the right and one below, but he opens with this move. Not sure what his idea is. You immediately see Geoff's response on move 2. He's trying to divide the board, so there's one part on the top left and one big part on the right and the bottom. So he expects to get one chain in the top left and two chains in the rest of the map. On move 3, JJ is going for a much more horizontal division of the board, saying, I want two chains, one on the top, one on the bottom, and there's nothing you're going to be able to do about it, Geoff. So on move 4, Geoff says, maybe we do want three parts of the map though. So on this move you can sort of see he's keeping this division, so there's still one chain going to be formed in the top left, then one in the top right, and then one in the bottom. So this looks pretty fine for Geoff. So move 5 is a bit a weird move, so I thought some time about it, because you can see it actually looks like JJ is accepting this division of the map, which you wouldn't expect him to. He's saying, okay Geoff, you wanted a chain in the top left, let's make you a chain in the top left. And this is a bit surprising for me. I'm not really sure what he's going for. This is really top level play, so I'm sure he has something in mind. Maybe the game will show us what. So on move 6, Geoff is very happy with this move from JJ. He's saying, okay great, let's get building, I want this chain. And on move 7, JJ is he keeps building this chain, so it's now actually a chain, and he's moving towards the north. So now there's one chain formed, and you can sort of imagine one chain more being formed in the top right and one in the bottom right. So I think the game is looking pretty okay for Geoff Cameron right now. On move 8, he divides the board horizontally further, because he might have a slight fear that there's just going to be this one chain in the left and then one big chain in the right part of the map, and that's not what he wants to. So he's saying, okay, I'm happy with this chain you gave me, JJ, but now let's make sure that the board keeps separated. So on move 9 you can sort of see what JJ is planning. So this is a move where he's trying to link the chain in the top left with a potential chain in the top right. It's a pretty smart play, because I mean, even if it's not going to be able to link the move, at least he'll force Geoff to sacrifice something. On move 10, Geoff starts forming his chain, and so he pretends nothing happened. And on move 11, that's also a move I'm a bit curious about. So there's two things with this move. First, you can notice JJ is extending a chain that's already existing. So that's like saying, I'm pretty confident I'm going to win the chain war, so I'm interested in as long chains as possible. Which is, I think, a bit surprising considering the current state of the board. Furthermore, you can notice he could have extended another way too, but this way he closes off any possible connection to the bottom. So he wants to make sure that when he's creating something in the bottom later, it's not going to be linked to this chain he already did. So we might be able to see later why, or if it's a good move, but right now I think it seems a bit surprising. On move 12, Geoff is trying to extend his chain further, so he really wants this chain in the top right of the map. And on move 13, JJ does something I guess pretty expected, so he starts building this link. He's saying, okay, Geoff, you can go ahead and make your chain now, but I'll link the two. Of course, Geoff is not gonna allow this. He really needs these two chains in the top. So on move 14, he sacrifices the box in the middle, so dividing the two chains. On move 15, JJ accepts this. Of course, why wouldn't he? But he's saying, okay, now that I have my chain, I'm not gonna allow you to form yours. So he's attacking the chain of Geoff Cameron and sacrificing two balls in the middle. On move 16, Geoff obviously accepts the sacrifice and he places another one in the top, so he's saying, okay, I take those two, but I still might have some space here to form a chain. And this threat is not one that JJ has to respond to immediately, because there's no way for Geoff with just a single move to make this into an entire chain. So it's not the strongest threat, so JJ has one move before he has to react to it. So on move 17 he simply plays in the bottom. I guess the idea behind this move is he wants to link the bottom, make a sort of horizontal chain, because he doesn't want some sort of vertical division which might allow Geoff to form two chains in the bottom, or a ring or something, because that will be expensive for him. So on move 18, Geoff is now doing a serious chain threat. So he's saying, if you don't respond now, I'm gonna get this chain. So not surprisingly, on move 19, JJ, he attacks this chain and he sacrifices the two boxes there, because now it's impossible for Geoff to form a chain in the top because there's only two boxes left. So move 20, Geoff accepts the sacrifice and he plays this move in the bottom. And when I look at the move now, it's not really obvious to me what he wants with it. He had to play in the bottom somewhere. Obviously he's gonna try and do some chaos in the bottom, so I think at this point he has probably realized he's lost the chain war, so he's gonna try and make JJ sacrifice as much as possible to him and possibly win anyway. And this was the move that he chose. So maybe in a couple of moves we'll see why he did it. So on move 21, JJ extends what Geoff did. So now there's actually a real chain formed in the bottom. So now there's two chains. And of course JJ is satisfied with this, I guess. But now look on move 22 what Geoff's doing. He's building vertically. So you can sort of see he's trying to cut off the bottom right part of the map. So he wants maybe to try and form another chain there. Move 23, JJ, being the strong player that he is, obviously recognizes this, and his response is to sacrifice the single box here. So on move 24, Geoff takes that box, and you can see he's actually extending the chain of JJ. Now you might say, why would Geoff Cameron help extend the chain of JJ? He's gonna lose the chain war, so you prefer the chains being as small as possible. But the reason is that now this chain extends all the way to the left. So if he can just get this chain closed up here, he'll have plenty of space to do some chain threats and force JJ to sacrifice a lot of things. And yeah, I think it's a pretty smart move. So on move 25, obviously JJ doesn't want his chain to just go to the left and die, so he tries to steer it to the bottom, saying, if you're gonna do anything there, Geoff, I'm gonna link the two chains, so I'm just gonna have an even longer chain. On move 26, Geoff cuts him off, so now there's really no way for JJ to merge the two chains. So if any more chains are being formed in the bottom right, Geoff Cameron will win the chain war. JJ of course recognizes this, so on move 27, he cuts off two blocks, saying, okay Geoff, now good luck creating your chains, because I just took two boxes away from you. Move 28, Geoff is now doing a chain threat. So if he just had one more move, he could do a chain here. So obviously there's only one real response from JJ here. Move 29, he sacrificed the single box here. And you can see Geoff accepts that. Now he can't form any chain, so he just finishes the chain from JJ. So now there's sort of not that much choice from what the players can do. So I'm gonna take the time to discuss one thing here that normally isn't debated that much. So I guess most players know about the chain war, that whoever hits the right parity with the chains can take all boxes except 2 from each chain, and all the boxes in the last one, and win a lot of boxes. But something that I've recently been able to focus a bit more on is also there's sort of a non-chain war. So that's the war of all the boxes that are not in a chain. So they're always in groups of either 1 or 2 boxes. And sometimes I've noticed that player get an equal share of these. Sometimes one player might even be able to get 2 more. So the way this works is that the player who loses the chain war will always win the non-chain war. And winning the non-chain war means that the biggest of these boxes will go to the player who loses the chain war. The second biggest will go to the player who wins the chain war. The third biggest will go to the player who loses the chain war, and so on. So you can see in this case we have 3 groups of 2 boxes. That means that the biggest one, so that's one of the 2, will go to Geoff Cameron, then the next one will go to JJ, and then the third one will go to Geoff Cameron again. So from these 6 boxes, Geoff will actually earn 4. And this is where, it's really important how the boxes are divided. If one of these were not one group of 2, but instead 2 groups of 1, each player would receive one group consisting of 2 and one group consisting of 1. So in that case, the players would be on equal foot. So it's really important how you actually divide the ones that are not in a chain, and it's something I've seen a lot of players not putting enough focus on. Especially in close games, it really makes the difference. Okay, so on move 31, JJ has to open one of these groups. So you can see on move 32, Geoff captures it, gives one to JJ, takes it on 33, opens one for Geoff, takes it on 34, opens one chain on 35, JJ takes everything except 2. On 36, Geoff takes those 2 and opens the last chain, and on 37, JJ takes the last 7 boxes and it finishes 13 to 12. So in this case, it wasn't enough for Geoff with these little sacrifices, even though you could say he won the non-chain war because he got 4 boxes to JJ's 2. Because he lost the chain war with such a long chain, he still lost the game 13 to 12. Okay, so it turned out that Geoff didn't win the championship. S'mores did. Congratulations to him. Yeah, thank you for watching, and I hope I'll see you next time.